All right. Give me just 1 sec. Get this call started. Turn on the volume a little bit. Man, I just want to say the longs from yesterday ended up playing out very nicely. To that Asian high and previous daily high, we ended up accumulating to that area very nicely. So for those of you here yesterday, that area ended up playing out very well. So good stuff. GG's. Give me 1 sec. Let me open up my MetaTrader as well. Okay, 1 sec. Cool. Cool. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Fabio, good morning. That wick needed to be created. Yeah. Except for NASDAQ. Yeah, except for NASDAQ. Which is where most of my bias this whole week was coming from. It was from NASDAQ. I guess it's just because I'm in this trade, I really focused on this asset the most this week. So I'm going to deviate from that today. We're going to start right on DXY. And then from DXY, we're going to jump to Dow, S&P, and lastly, we're going to do NASDAQ. Okay, so, okay, cool. So, as we've been mentioning all week, right, coming into this previous area of accumulation, just the longs into these previous areas of distribution or these highs make the most sense in my eyes. The daily course is bullish as well, or not in bullish structure but in bullish order flow. Okay, this right here. So we're coming back in here, and on the 4 hour you can see this a lot better because I have it on there, but you guys can see the Fibonacci out of this whole range. You know, I really wanted price action to just do a continuation, but out of this whole range, we do have liquidity 50% and below now. So if we were to take off from this 4 hour imbalance that I mentioned on Monday, I'm still looking at the same 4 hour imbalance here on the left. I mean, you can just see the bodies have been respecting that area overall. So I still do believe in this area to go long into previous weekly or previous daily gap here and the initial high of the week, which was Monday's high, right? So we'll see what happens today, see if this is the accumulation that ends up taking this a lot higher. If not, we are above Asian highs, and if we begin this distribution schematic here, then we can continue pushing lower, because this intraday time frame or the smaller time frame is still bearish, right, with all of this intraday liquidity. So we can move lower again, and then indices pump higher one more time. I wouldn't be surprised either way, just because Dow needs to come 50% and above. S&P needs to come 50% and above. So kind of just waiting for that. We did come 50% and above, but we didn't take out that liquidity on S&P. Right, so yeah, we'll go back to that here in a second. Right, so in terms of DXY, we can see price action pushing higher here at the moment. As of right now, it does look like we are pushing higher and accumulating off the 4 hour. We'll see if that stands throughout the session. There's no high impact news today. There's not any news today, so it may be a really slow day, right? I'm gonna go to Dow, and then we're gonna do S&P and Nasdaq last. Okay, so Dow again has came 50% of the range, but no liquidity has been taken 50% and above. So I do imagine that Dow is potentially going to be moving towards that upside, towards these highs right here very shortly. Okay, it may come today, it may come next week, who knows. But Dow does look in favor of more longs. We have all of this liquidity building up kind of here, just this trend line, and yeah, just we have a lot of liquidity towards this downside right now. We keep taking out the highs. Notice the highs keep getting swept. We keep running the highs. So we'll see what ends up happening in this session right here. Okay, maybe we come up and take out that internal liquidity, right? That would be the main objective for today, is coming up to that internal liquidity today. So if I had to say on Dow, it is Wednesday and we just built up a lot of liquidity. If I had to say on Dow, my first objective would be the high end of this blue shaded box, and then see if price action wants to distribute beyond that, right above these equal highs right here, these equal highs to the high of this blue shaded box. I want to see what happens in that area first, because again, we have a lot of liquidity towards the downside, right? GA NASDAQ's rebelling. Yeah, for sure. Nasdaq is doing its own thing. GA, I think you're asking me to go look at GA, or I don't know if you're saying, yeah, I think you're like GBP AUD, or or what? Yeah, I kind of figured you weren't asking for a GA. It sounded more like a good morning. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. By the way, I got a question on my hand yesterday, and I kind of ended the stream before I could answer it, but my hand is doing a lot better. I actually don't have any problems with it anymore, so. Good afternoon. Ah, yeah, you're somewhere else in the world. That's true. Yeah. Hey, what's good, Brian? Praise the Lord. Good morning, my brothers. Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love the energy. Thank you guys for being here today. I know Nigeria, Africa. Nice, brother. Nice. Glad you're tuning in. We got people from all over the world. All over the world. That's cool. All right. So in terms of Dow, yeah, I do see this kind of popping off a little higher. We did take out Asian lows. Previous daily low is still intact. Nothing really like too much here. Yeah, Asian liquidity has been taken. Maybe we come take out these triple top right here on Dow, and obviously could possibly continue from there. S&P came into this previous area of distribution and for some reason started shorting. So we're gonna look at this real quick together. So we did come 50% and above, failed to take out previous weekly high. Okay, we are respecting this bullish imbalance and then pump to the upside. We did sweep liquidity and upside liquidity. Yeah, the way that we kind of came back to that last point of interest up there, that last unmitigated area, kind of makes me think that we may leave this high intact for now. But overall, the same highs are there across the board on Dow and S&P. Those same highs are there. Okay, so it makes me curious to see what ends up happening after we take out those highs, because both areas or both assets. One second, let me turn down the music a little bit. I mean, at least it's pretty loud for me. Yeah, because both areas at the end of the day swept liquidity, left imbalances with liquidity right below them. So I'm very curious to see what happens. But overall, I do believe that we're going to smack those highs pretty hard. Yeah. Early in the session too. Nasdaq's a lot lower, but Nasdaq did come for internal liquidity. Okay, it did come for internal liquidity, and overall is respecting this bearish imbalance to the left. I haven't seen any disrespect at all on Nasdaq, other than really the most concerning area in my eyes was this daily imbalance here on the left. That was the most concerning area in my eyes, because we did close below it, showing bearish order flow, then respected this weekly gap, showing bullish order flow, closed above that imbalance, again showing bullish order flow, and then the wick from yesterday ended up respecting that bullish order flow. So we're right back to that blue shaded area here down below. We've came into it, I mean, 1, 2, 3 times. Maybe this is the time where we just fall right through it. Yesterday, like I said, I am holding trades from up here. I did take a trade up there. And yesterday, because of that divergence between the assets, Nasdaq failing to take out previous daily high, S&P taking out previous daily high, I did short Nas. Okay, so I am in shorts in Nas again from here, and so I added to my position. So I'm short here and here, and yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. My stop loss is right above this high. right? It's at break even. So we'll see what ends up happening, honestly, in terms of NASDAQ. But overall, let's walk it from the top. Respecting bullish order flow, we'll see what happens in this area. We are in discount of the range, right? We are in the lower end of the discount. So if we end up, I know we swept internal liquidity, but that, sorry, that doesn't mean we can't sweep it again, you know? We can definitely come back and sweep it, respect this whole area overall. Or even current week, right? We can probably, sweep current weekly range next week and then continue falling. Who knows what's going to happen next week, but this week I do anticipate and have been anticipating shorts. The shorts keep coming back, and today's looking kind of similar as yesterday. Nice drop to then like a full reversal on the daily range, like a full complete reversal. I mean, we came right above Asian highs, which was the high of the day. Take it out slightly and then kind of distribute there. Now this looks like a reaccumulation if I ever saw one. So I'm already at break even. And yeah, I'm just kind of leaving these trades alone because I gotta trust the analysis, one, but two, NASDAQ's clearly not listening to the correlation on the dollar. So NASDAQ clearly doesn't want to go higher. Just like avoiding all the highs. Ever since we took out that high, we're avoiding this high, all these previous daily highs. So I'm kind of curious what's going to happen today, actually. Very, very curious what will happen today. So we're going to be here and find out. Let's see. Do we need to sweep a low on Dow and SPX to look for distribution? For accumulation or distribution? Because if we're looking for accumulation, we look for a sweep of the low. But if we're looking for distribution, you want to run on the high. But if we're looking for accumulation, to be honest, that Asian low is already good enough for me. That Asian low on Dow and then on S&P, same thing. That Asian low was taken. Distro at the highs I marked on Dow. Yeah. If I was looking for distribution, it'd be above right here, right? Where do we open? Right here? Right here. That's the opening of the week. Yeah. I feel like we got a pretty good accumulation schematic going here on the 4 hour as well. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this long here today for DXY. We went 50% and below, took out internal liquidity. So yeah, we have like about 6 minutes on the opening. But you know what? Solomon mentioned GA, and I know that's not what you meant with good afternoon, but at the same time, I haven't looked at this asset in forever. My biggest swing trade was on this asset. Biggest trade ever was on this asset. I don't know where it's at, to be honest. So long ago. It was last year, actually. Jeez, I don't even remember where it was. If I look at it on a daily perspective, it was last year. Yeah, I don't even remember where it was in GA. Oh. But GA has been Nice distribution on GA. Maybe within this range, GA will continue dropping lower. It's got a double bottom down there. We don't have to get 50% and above, but definitely shorts on GA are setting up pretty nicely. Pretty nicely. I mean, we got those double bottoms right there after we broke structure. Yeah, looks pretty nice. Yeah, everything 2015. Damn. This accumulation on the daily, I believe I was looking at some accumulations over here on the daily. Crazy how time goes by so fast. On the daily here, it looks higher high, higher low, but I would just be careful for the weekly here on the left hand side. Structure is following though. Higher high, higher low, higher high. We did kind of disrespect that bearish order flow. Yeah, this looks like it's just going to continue falling through and taking out more lows. Yeah, good stuff on GA. EU came back to a previous area of distribution here on EU. Still respecting bearish order flow. Yeah, order flow still seems the same to me in terms of bearishness. We did come into this previous area of distribution, came to the high end of that. Came to the high end of that blue shaded area, right? Our magic blue box right there, our magic box. Okay, so we came to the high end, we distributed it on the 4 hour, and then boom. I want to note the following, okay? I want to note the following. EU is on the right, DXY is on the left, okay? EU is on the right, DXY is on the left. Nice bearish divergence on EU. See how they're both pointing downwards, right? EU didn't sweep previous daily high, DXY did. That's pretty good bearish divergence right there, and I would anticipate for the EU to continue pushing towards the downside. Yeah, I'm short on EU. I think today is the day we come for all of this shit right here. The initial low of the week, previous weekly low, all of it. So, looking at shorts in EU from this blue shaded area right here. The lower half ideally, but I mean the top half ideally. You know, you want to be in premium side of the range, but it doesn't have to play out that way. But overall, from this blue shaded box, I want to see the previous daily low get swept. So, yeah. Same thing with GU. I want to see some shorts playing out now. I mean, I know we've built up a substantial amount of upside liquidity, but that doesn't have to come till, like, let's say next week just does this. Comes down, boom, and then... So, it's a possibility, okay? It's a possibility. We'll see what ends up happening on GU, but it's such a liquidity buildup on that end. If I was taking any, it'd be EU. Give me one sec. These candles look huge for some reason. Small. Nice. Yeah. There's the opening price. Some nice potential accumulations across the board. Dow ripping for those highs. Maybe we get into this previous area of accumulation here and just continue pushing higher. It looks like we already did, to be honest. And just continue pushing higher. And you can just see the imbalances being respected. can you check EU and GU? Oh, nice. I did check those. Cool. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions on those. I think we should also go revisit gold. Yeah, let's go revisit gold as well, okay? Ah, fuck, I don't know how to type it. There it is. I mean, our long ended up playing out very nicely. It came back at the end of the day, though, right? You can see that. It came back at the end of the day. Now it's fucking flying. I don't know what I don't know what gold is correlation to, you know, but it just smacked a very major high. I don't know what it's correlating to though. I honestly don't know. I thought we were gonna pull back a little bit down here. We came into this imbalance here on the weekly. You guys can see that better on the right. Right? See that low right there? That's that whole bearish imbalance. And then once we closed above it, this current candle's low, or this current weekly low, comes into that imbalance and pulls away. I see this signature a lot. It's like the imbalance that sweeps or does the major manipulation, right? Always gets tested when it's a full-on reversal. What's fast doesn't last, right? And when it's a full-on reversal, I noticed that this pattern happens a lot. Yeah. I think gold is correlated to inflation and financial crisis. Yeah, perhaps. Gold is a matter of time before it starts flying. Yeah, it's fucking gone. Yeah. And then we may be getting some slight accumulations on these guys as well. There it is. Some slight accumulation. This one doesn't surprise me. I mean, we're deep in discount on everything. So if we start accumulating, I'm not surprised. Dow is coming back a little bit deeper. Kind of respecting that bearish order flow overall. Doesn't want to take out the top. Just building up liquidity. By the way, I'm not taking any trades until after 10. Just want to be very clear about that. Any markups that you guys see me do, I'm not taking until after 10. Any reasons for not taking trades till after 10 a.m.? For the most part, I noticed that most of my losses happen after the opening price, from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then adding another extra to it, I also noticed that between the hours of 9:30 to 10 a.m., if there's no news prior, it tends to be a nice little liquidity buildup or manipulation. Right? It's like the initial move of the day. And so that's what we're kind of seeing right now, is the initial move of the day. Or it could be the move for the entire day. But I like to believe that before 10 a.m., it's the initial move of the day setting up for the main move. And then also ICT came out this year with the silver bullet strategy. So that also really confluences with everything as well. The silver bullet is, for him, I believe the silver bullet time is from like 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So do you only trade post New York Open? You don't trade London Open? I don't have that much energy, I guess. If I did trade London, you guys would definitely not see me every day, every morning, for sure. I can be 100% certain with that. I don't trade 2 sessions. One, there's many reasons why, but time and the time zone that I'm in is definitely not one. Or yeah, I guess it is one, because I used to trade both London and New York, and it was very unhealthy. You know, I did that for the longest time, and it's like, dude, before you even reach profitability, you got to ask yourself, if I'm not profitable in 1 session, what makes me think that I'm going to be profitable in 2 fucking sessions? You know what I mean? So that's how I started seeing it in my end. It's like, damn, like I'm not even profitable in 1 session. Why am I going to go get clapped in 2 sessions? Because that's what was happening. It's like I'd go to bed at like 9 p.m. and then wake up a couple hours later for London, and then trade London, get clapped, go to bed, wake up in the morning, get clapped, and then like did it all over again. And then yeah, sometimes I would win. My biggest trade ever was on London, but statistically looking at my performance, right, when I started journaling and everything, I noticed that nah, dude, like it was not sustainable. You can't keep doing things the same way that you were doing them before. So that was the main thing for me. So I just stopped overall looking at London. So I don't look at London at all. Like I was up last night too. I was up last night during London Open. London Open is at 1 a.m. for me, and I want to go watch this stupid ass movie, The Exorcist, which was alright. The storyline was cool, but I want to go see that movie yesterday. And yeah, I mean, I didn't even glance at the charts. It didn't even remotely appeal to me, just because, again, like statistically looking at my performance, I stuck with a higher performing asset, a higher performing session, right? I'm open to both, but if I were to start trading London, if I trade London, I wouldn't trade New York. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So one thing I'll tell you is, once you start really diving deep into these forex assets, you're going to start being able to time these a lot better. For example, EU and GU, they do move quite well during London. Okay, they do move quite well during London. I mean, the shorts here from the opening price on EU, it held through the shorts on CPI, right? Then you got this short from London, right, all the way down to the blue shaded area. Then you got these longs from London played out through the whole day, right? Shorts from London, or wait, this one got completely fucking liquidated, but it's not every time. That's why I used to trade London. See this London low, right? Look at that. London low holds for the whole day, right? So EU and GU are definitely some assets that you can trade during London. And I used to only look for one model during London. And some of you may know it. It's called my London model, and I'm not going to go over it today. But I used to just trade one model during London, and if it showed up, it showed up, and I traded it. If it didn't, I just didn't trade. So I do have like a model for my entries during London. If you trade London, when did you sleep? So that's how I used to do it before, bro. I mean, I used to... So I'll give it to you on my time zones, because I don't know what it was New York time. But I'm 2 hours behind Eastern time, okay? So, but I'm going to give it to you in Eastern time. I would go to bed like around 11 a.m. Eastern. And I would wake up at 2 a.m. Eastern. 11 p.m. Eastern, sorry. So I'd go to bed at 11 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and then I'd wake up at 2 a.m. Eastern, right? So I'd wake up like 3 hours later, right? Yeah. So I'd wake up 3 hours later. I'd stay up for about an hour or two, and then I'd go right back to bed, like around like 4 or 5 a.m. Eastern, and I'd wake up again at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then I'd trade New York. I used to do that on repeat all the time. I did that for like a year. Believe it or not, I did that whole process for a year. I love London. London to me is just as good and profitable as New York. Would let my trades run while sleeping? Yeah, I mean, my stop losses would get hit while sleeping. It would suck ass. But most of the time, I wouldn't go to bed if I was in a trade. I would be so excited to be in profit, you know, and to manage my trade accordingly, or fear of it turning around against me, that I wouldn't even go to bed. It was horrible. Horrible for my health, horrible for my sleep, horrible for my trading. But, you know, I'm grateful. I love London. I came up with my London model during London. So it's, yeah, I mean, my London model is key when it comes to London for me. So I wouldn't have been able to come up with this model if it wasn't for trading London so many times. Would you let? Yes, it's true. The only one suck is Asian market. You know what? Gold moves during Asia a lot. It's weird, but gold moves during Asia. It's funny, huh? Look at that. Yesterday, I mean today. Yesterday for me, today for the market. Moved to Ireland. London for me is at 8 a.m. and my stock was open. Yeah, either way, here's the thing. My point out of all of that was not the lack of sleep, because the lack of sleep was not an issue. Okay? Because I would have kept going. I don't give a fuck. I would have kept going. I love this. It fuels me. The timing was not the issue. It was the fact that I wasn't even profitable on one session. Why the hell would I go trade 2 sessions and be unprofitable on both sessions? You know what I mean? That's what the issue was. Is to first reach a point of profitability, you have to narrow down your mastery, right? Narrow down your timing, narrow down your entry points, narrow down everything. And you can't narrow down by having such a wide window of trading, or such a big window of trading. So price action is just staying in the same place across the board, guys. Across the board, I don't see anything. This is why we wait till 10 a.m. So yeah, no, I get it. Ireland has really good timing and everything, but it wasn't a timing thing. Like, it wasn't a time zone issue. It was more of a skill set issue, right? And now that I have the skill set, in New York, I make more consistently than I ever did in London. And one of the main things that I switched to New York for was because I wanted to trade indices, right? Indices was the main thing that attracted my attention, because I've had the futures market in my scope for a really long time. I mean, I was thinking about switching to futures for like a year before I actually made the switch. You know what I mean? The shorts are kind of shorting. Shorts are shorting. Beautiful. So yeah, that's why I switched to New York. I wanted to become my goal is to look at the market and on indices and not anything else. Like, my goal is to completely drop all other assets and eventually only trade 2, and just be very familiar with my 1 or 2 assets. I have a friend that does this. You guys will hear me talk about him a lot. His name's Richard, and he only trades one asset, which is US 30, all right, or Dow. He only trades Dow. Only. That's it. Doesn't trade anything else. Only trades Dow. And I mean, he kills it. He just sat down, and I'm telling you, for like a year straight, this guy just only traded Dow and got his ass whooped. And now this guy's making multiple six figures on Dow. Right? I remember when he would be like, all right, guys, I'm short on Dow. And then, like, he's a scalper. And then, like, a couple minutes later, he'd be like, I'm out. I'd be like, what? It's like, yeah, I just made $100. I'm out. I'm like, all right, cool. Hell yeah. This was years ago. Now, it's the same thing. He'll be like, all right, guys, I'm short in Dow. And then, like, a few minutes later, he'll be like, I'm out. Just made a couple $1,000. Oh, just made $80,000. Or, oh, I just made, $90,000, $50,000. Oh, I just made a quick $20,000. And it's like, god damn. And he does this shit so nonchalantly. You know what I mean? And so I have a pretty good image and examples of influences of people that I aspire to trade or be like. A pretty good example of what successful traders look like. You know what I mean? And yeah. That's my boy. That's one of my best friends is right there. Richard. Yeah. Rich Trades. Yeah. Actually, I need to call him. I haven't called him in a couple weeks. I need to call him. I just know he's in Mexico. Like, this guy takes vacations for like 3 months. Trades only like 1 or 2 months out of the year. And then takes vacation for the rest of the year. So I'm pretty sure he's in Puerto Vallarta right now. This thing's kind of longing, respecting this bullishness. Yeah, trade. So when I was in IM Academy, I started a trade house. So I don't know if you guys know Trade House, or those of you who are familiar with Trade House, but I started my own version of Trade House. Okay, I started my own version of Trade House under Jordan Morgan, and it was called Trade House Impacto. Who remembers Trade House Impacto? It's non-existent anymore. I have completely detached my brand from Trade House, but Trade House Impacto was started and founded by myself and Richard. And 2 other people. And it was founded because of COVID. Right? It was founded because of COVID. So we all founded Trade House Impacto back in 2020. And it was because we were all trading. We were all stuck at home. Some of us got fired. And we were all stuck at home trading. You know what I mean? We didn't have any other choice. And so we were just trading, living our lives. And then some of us took a gamble and we quit our jobs. Some of us, took a gamble and stayed with our jobs or went to other jobs. Some of us stayed with the gamble and then milked COVID lockdown as much as we could. So some people saw COVID as a negative thing, but I saw it as a positive thing in my trading, because that's when I was trading peso. That's when I started having profitable days. I wasn't profitable long term, but I was having profitable days. I was having like, I was doing like $2,000, $3,000 at the time. That was a shit ton of money for me, because I'd never made that much money in one day. But I mean, I was risking like 5% per trade and shit, and like I was risking a lot of money, of my own personal money. This was before prop firms and everything. And Richard was the one that helped me found Impacto, and he was one of the leaders in Impacto, teaching us. He went through the bounce back boot camp once, and then he left IM Academy. After that, I mean, Impacto was never the same. Everybody left, actually. IM Academy, I was the only one that was left over there, and then I left eventually, and I followed in the same steps as Richard. I followed in the same steps as Matthew after that, and just kind of started doing my own thing. Does Richard have a YouTube channel? Unfortunately not, but I do have an interview with him on my YouTube channel, and here soon we're gonna do another call, because the last call he didn't have his setup. He was barely building his house, and now he has his house built, and I think he's building up his office. So here pretty soon, once his office is fully built, we're gonna do a part 2 to that interview. Yeah, so we avoided the highs across the board, and now we're shorting pretty nicely. I'm still holding my shorts on NASDAQ. Give me just 1 second, actually. Give me 1 second. Let me just log in real quick. Let me log in. There we go. So in futures market, I know this is going to look super different. You're like, Bash, I thought you were in from up here. Yes, I am in from right there. But in the futures market, I got an entry right here, and I have an entry from up here. Okay, and in the futures market, it will give you the midpoint and profitability point. So with the line that you guys see there is both those trades combined together, creating this average profitability point. And so you guys can see I may not break even over here, but I am break even at the profitability standpoint of this whole setup. All right, so kind of hard to explain futures market if you're not really familiar with it, but I highly suggest you guys, if you ever wanted to get a futures, if you have any questions about it, there's no need to do research. Just hit me up. I'll tell you all about it, and I'll give you the resources on how to get started. I mean, I've dabbled enough into the futures market where I feel pretty confident that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to trade the futures market. We're just shorting now. Completely avoided the highs. Left 1, 2, 3, 4 tops. Left a quadruple top up there for Dow Jones. NASDAQ just leaving this beautiful fucking friendly trend line. And then S&P, again, leaving that top right there and just kind of shorting off. Yeah, price action's just been building up liquidity. I only trade Dow. Oh, yeah, I only trade. I would like to see it. Yeah. Go ahead and on my YouTube channel, there's a playlist called Market Wizards, and there's 2 videos on there, or 3 videos on there, and all of those guys are 6-figure. Well, one guy is a 6-figure trader on there, and his name's Nate, and then Robbie and Richard are both 7-figure traders. They're both 7-figure traders, so you guys can learn from those guys. Those guys are killing it. We're always killing it. Let's see. Fabio says, I only trade down, and it's unusual to find traders that do the same. Yeah, check out that video. You'll find another trader that does it. You guys' knowledge really blessed a lot of us. I have all your trade house videos, Matthew, Rock, Jordan, Jenna, etc. Thank you for all sharing the knowledge. Man, when you say all those names, man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Sometimes I miss being in trade house just for the calls, man. There was just like Jenna. For me, Jenna would go live like at 5 in the morning, at 5 a.m. But I'd still hop on her calls on Mondays, I think it was. And I'd still hop on her calls on Monday mornings at 5 a.m. for me. Yeah. Rock too. Jordan, man. Yeah, I wonder how she's doing. I haven't seen one of her videos in a really long time. I'm sure she's still killing it. She was always killing it. That's kind of the game changer. You can hold a few bucks on a trade and it gives you better entry for the second one. Am I wrong? Yeah. So basically, yes, exactly. I'm glad that you saw that. Okay, I'm glad that you saw that. Okay, yes. So basically, even though my stop loss is, somewhere over here. My entry was like really shitty. It still gave me a medium right here. So if I were to go break even over here, I still be risk free, even though my trade and entry was down here. Right. And so my trade and entry down here is still risk free because my entry up, the average between the two is up here. So it's super clutch, bro. It really is. I'm glad that you caught on to that. You saw how powerful that can be. It's a very powerful tool if you know how to use it correctly. Yeah, I kind of figured she would still be doing it. So because of business, I know a lot of their chats were, you know, they take a couple months before they recycle them and stuff and renew them and everything. And but out of respect and from a business standpoint, when I left that business, I wouldn't have really left it if I didn't leave all the chats. So when I switched over to Abundant Capital as an educator to Abundant Capital, out of respect to Matthew, out of respect to all the educators in Trade House, I left. I left all the chats, even the ones that were essentially pretty much free because they never cleaned them up, right? So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not part of any chats, even the Discord ones, which were huge and basically free. Yeah, unfortunately. I think EU is the only one that's really just moving the most so far. It came back. I mean, if anybody was here for this, it made a nice pullback into this previous area of distribution. You have an imbalance here that we came back into, this blue shaded box, right, which is a new week opening gap. It's a weekly gap, excuse me. So we come into the imbalance, that previous area of distribution, that weekly gap, and then just kind of push lower. Very slowly. DXY pushing higher, no surprise there. Again, we were anticipating the longs after we took out some internal liquidity. You guys can see on the 4 hour, we ended up accumulating, and then just kind of watch this part. Watch over here how we come down into this 4 hour imbalance one more time. That same 4 hour imbalance that I was mentioning for the shorts on Monday, that same 4 hour imbalance got respected with the bodies yesterday, and that same 4 hour imbalance is the one that we're trading away from and mitigating from to push to the upside. So 4 hour imbalance right there. Yeah. And the main reason I was looking at that 4 hour imbalance, can you guys take a guess? Can you guys take a guess? I've talked about this stuff quite often, so can you guys take a guess why I was picking that 4 hour imbalance? Why not this one down here that's fully unmitigated? Why that one? Why that one that's been traded through multiple times? Drop it in the chat. I want to see what your guys' answers are. Breaker. Okay. You guys are not wrong. Breaker, okay. I actually picked that imbalance for the same reason. Wait 1 second. Let me read this last answer. First, it's followed by an order block. Then we got a candle that violated that order block, giving us a breaker, an inverse imbalance, and you combine them for the information all together, and we got the imbalance. Okay. So the same, like, I'll show you guys why I did it. It's kind of the similar reason. So right here, I'll give you guys this kind of walk down. It's the same reason we were gonna come up here. Okay, wait 1 second. Let's go to the 1 hour. You guys will be able to see it a lot better on the 1 hour. Okay. So we're looking at the 1 hour, okay? And I'm looking at this whole push. Now, I'm not taking any order blocks or anything into consideration. Just looking at structure and everything. The body's low. Okay, the body's low and the lows get ran through an imbalance. That body's low lines up with an imbalance. If it lines up with an imbalance, that's my new found resistance. Okay, I know this is gonna blow right over some people's heads, but keep following with me. Okay, and it's not always the case that you guys can see the body's low, no imbalance gets ran through, so we trade a lot higher. Okay, so the best examples that I could give you is that one right there. When the bodies, or when the breaker gets traded through, I guess when the breaker gets created, or when that form gets shaped, or this area gets formed, if there's an imbalance that lines up with that low, that's what I look for. So now reverse the whole thing. Reverse the whole thing. What do we have here? A body that gets traded through with a big ass imbalance, and I saw that same imbalance in the back, and so you guys can see how that intertwined. That is true support and resistance. Write that down. That is true support and resistance. True support and resistance. None of this M's, W's, and all that other stuff. I know that shit works. I know support and resistance in other strategies is different, but that right there is true support and resistance. Yeah, again, some of that stuff will blow right through some of your, like right over some of your heads, but I promise you it's very important. 10 a.m. sweeps 9 a.m.'s low, I believe, on NASDAQ. No, it doesn't. It just creates equal lows. Oh, no, it does sweep it. Very, very slightly. It does sweep it. And maybe it just continues accumulating. This is 9 a.m.'s high. Let's see. Yeah, 9 a.m.'s high right here. We'll see what happens. So far, so good. Dow super close to that previous daily low. S&P traded into this last point of accumulation. Last point of accumulation right there, and showing some level of resistance. I won't be surprised if S&P comes back for this triple top. It avoided our first initial triple top, but I feel like this one will be a little bit more probable, given that 9 a.m.'s highs right there. We swiped the high that lines up with the imbalance, classic break and retest. Yeah, I can't say that I saw the exact same thing, but we came up with the same answer, just different perspective, right? But you guys saw how I noticed that imbalance. I'm gonna show a lot more examples like that so you guys understand it later on as we proceed through these lectures and mentorships. But it's basically how I got NAS shorts on Friday too. Right? Where is it? Yeah, and it's not always the low of the bodies. Sometimes it's like the actual low of that area. See, imbalance trades right through it. We come right back to it. Now, what determines whether it's going to be like the low, the wick, or the low, the body? That, you know, I would have made a video a long time ago if I knew all that stuff. But there's some stuff that I'm still learning, and that's one of them. Whether to differentiate whether I'm going to use the wick or the body. Nice accumulation taking place on NASDAQ. Some very slight accumulation. I would have imagined we'd at least take out the previous daily low. Accumulation taking place. Dow. That's why I wait till after 10 a.m. See how all that movement comes after 10 a.m. and then just straight up liquidity build up during 9 a.m. This is 9 a.m.'s high. I'm anticipating 9 a.m. to get taken out. 9 a.m.'s high to get taken out. We already ran through 9 a.m.'s low. Now I want to see 9 a.m.'s high. Same thing across the board here. 9 a.m.'s low. Taken out. I want to see 9 a.m.'s high. Ran through. I don't know. I want us to trade into this previous area of distribution and see what happens in there with S&P. Balance here on the 15-minute. I would ideally love if S&P at least took out that high. I would not want S&P to leave another quadruple top. Have you guys noticed that a lot of the moves lately have been happening in the afternoon session? Has anybody noticed how recently a lot of the main moves of the day have been happening in the afternoon session? Like around 1 p.m.? I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them. Dow is just melting towards the downside. DXY pumping. I'm expecting DXY longs until we get to this top right here, this blue shaded area, this first blue shaded area. Yes, yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, because yesterday I got my NASDAQ short at 1, like right at 1. Where is it? Yeah, it was like, yeah, right at 1. NAS 2 days straight, yeah. I noticed that too, bro. I noticed that too. At 1. Comes and does a move. Jonathan says Dow is reacting out of the 50-minute imbalance. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's reacting very nicely out of that 50-minute FUG. Looks like we won't want to get our 9 a.m.'s high. That's totally fine. Again, our overall objective is the shorts across all indices. Are they in the best place to short? I mean, Dow. Just look at all the liquidity. Just look at all the liquidity. And, you know, yesterday may have been a better day to short, but today is just, it's like yesterday's liquidity plus today's on NASDAQ. Makes me very curious as to where the hell are we going, Nas? But yeah, no, this short was really clean. This was just like right below the top. And I kind of have a feeling that we may get back up there. Again, I could be hella wrong, but we'll backtest to check. That should be 6 p.m. my time. How long have you been trading full-time for? Since March 19th of 2021. I still remember the date. I'll never forget that date. March 19th of 2021. Yeah. I actually did a stream on March 19th of this year, and I mentioned it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. It was right before our in-person boot camp. That was taking a hell of a lot of days to melt. So, okay, so let's do an intermarket analysis real quick on the higher time frame, okay? And let's pull up all three of them because I want to get this kind of out of the way. I want to see what your guys' thoughts are on this. You know, we're all on here together, so. So we have NASDAQ. Hold on. Okay, we have NASDAQ on the middle. Dow on the left. And we're looking at the weekly. Okay, and then S&P in the far right. Okay. We're going to measure the range on all of them. If you look at here, NASDAQ was the only one that went 50% and above and swept liquidity. Dow went 50% and above, no liquidity taken. S&P went 50% and above, zero liquidity taken. Both weekly highs right here. There's that divergence. After NASDAQ took that high, Dow took previous weekly high, and notice here, and I'm just gonna draw it real quick. Long right there, we took previous weekly high. NASDAQ fails to, S&P fails to. So that's where we're getting all these weakness from, right? This bearish divergence. But again, it's not surprising that we're not moving lower faster because we're in discount across the board. Across the board, we're on discount price action. So price action, when it's far in discount, is going to have a lot harder time dropping and melting down than it would when we're in premium. In premium, we short pretty hard and easily, with more ease and less liquidity. But right now, you're in a counter trend, right? We're in a counter trend. So any bullishness into this weekly lower high that we're creating, right, across the board, any bullishness into this weekly lower high is a counter trend. And counter trends tend to have a lot more liquidity buildups. So now let's go into the daily. Let's go into that daily range across the board. There's Dow. There's NASDAQ. There's S&P. Besides the weekly gaps, there's not much imbalances or insufficiencies. Besides the weekly gaps in this range or push higher, there's not that many imbalances or insufficiencies. And so besides the gaps, right? You guys see these gaps right here? Everyone sees the gaps. I see the gaps, okay? Besides those gaps, right? There's not much insufficiency. So it's just like building up liquidity. I mean, look at this fucking clump of price action right here. It's just building up liquidity right now, right? One is at a higher high. The other one is at a lower high. Yeah, two of them are at a lower high. One of them is at a higher high. So just a lot of bearish divergence in terms of the indices. So I'm not really surprised that we're just struggling to do anything, right? Because structure screams bullish, divergence screams bearish, the range screams bullish, and then current price action is screaming bearish. You know what I mean? So it's just like inner conflict, right? Bro, I use my MT4 that way now. Nice. Nice. I love MT4. Yeah, Dow's taking a hell of a lot of days to melt. So yeah, that's why. I mean, you and I talked about it a little bit more too on the monthly perspective as well. 3 time frames at a time. Nice. Yeah, look at this clump of price action. Just clumped. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, I've only taken 1 trade this week or 2. 2? Yeah, I've only taken 2 trades this week and I'm pretty good. I may not even push any more buttons this week. It's starting to look like a no trade day for me today. I'm not gonna lie. Yep. Let's go to Euro. Or I mean DXY. Nothing yet. I mean, same spot. Yeah, I'm not surprised that this one's not moving either. And everything's kind of in the same spot. So, what's tomorrow? Let's go. Let's do something real quick. Let's do a little bit of fundamentals here. So the news that are tomorrow is unemployment claims. We're looking at it, unemployment claims and Federal Jerome Powell speaking. Unemployment claims is they're looking for it to push higher. I guess unemployment claims comes out every fucking week. I didn't know that. Unemployment claims comes out every week. What? Okay, October 12th. October 12th. October 12th. I highly doubt that this was from unemployment claims. That was at 8 a.m. Unemployment claims comes out at 8 a.m. Wow. I gotta go back to the 12th. Hold on. I gotta go back and see this. Because I don't think so. It was also CPI. Okay, so the 12th was also CPI. That's why we had that big ass move. So I'm gonna deviate from that one. And then go to October 5th. And so this way you guys are looking at what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this. Okay, I'm looking at October 5th numbers. It was forecasted to go higher. It went slightly higher. Right? Forecasted to go higher. Went very slightly higher. Forecasted to go slightly higher. Went way lower. So, unemployment claims. Yep. Yeah, because that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. So, that's why I'm wondering, like, what are we building up all this liquidity for? You know what I mean? There's got to be something that we're building up all this fucking liquidity for. Here, the bullishness started kicking in. And we're going to get that top. I'm not surprised. $9 a.m.'s high got taken on S&P. I know I was looking at this previous area distribution, but the way that we're pumping now, it just looks like a possibility. Still a possibility. I would prefer above the highs, or if Dow takes out the highs, that would be even better. Dow is trading into this previous area of distribution, right below these equal tops, so you know, definitely no trade for me there. S&P did take out the triple top here. NASDAQ going for that Asian high. Okay, so yeah, so since we have news tomorrow, I wanted to see what the prior day looks like. So September 28th and September 21st, we had unemployment claims. Okay, September 28th. We were doing a stream on that day, actually. Or actually, no, that was the first day that I didn't do a stream. The last day we did a stream was on the 27th. On that 30-day stream. Okay, so the day before, September 27th, not much of a liquidity buildup, but unemployment claims comes upwards and just melts down. Not much of a reaction. Then you have September 21st. And the day prior to September 21st, we had a nice run. So not much here. Unemployment claims doesn't seem to have that big of an impact. So not really interested in unemployment claims tomorrow. Federal Jerome Powell speaks. Fed Jerome Powell speaks. We'll see what this guy has. I believe the shorts from this imbalance here can play out pretty nicely. Take it at your own risk because we still have the Asian highs intact, or these highs right here intact. But oh no, that is Asian high. That is Asian high right there. But I want to see what happens in this area here. Okay, so Federal Jerome Powell spoke. The last time he spoke was on the 28th of September. Let's go look. We just saw that. Let's go look at... Oh, wait. The 28th of September. That was the same day that unemployment claims came out. And he speaks at 12 all the time. So, just kind of looking at it over here. Yeah. So, we had unemployment claims. And then... noon. Where is noon? Oh, yeah, nothing. I kind of figured, like, nothing. Nothing August 25th. Let's see, August 25th, okay? This is the one that I, like, usually don't ever look at. Federal Jerome Powell speaks is one. But the one that really moves the market, the one that's, like, really crazy high volatility is the one that says Fed Jerome Powell testifies. When that man testifies, he moves the market. August 25th. Sorry, let's do one more. August 25th. 10 a.m. Pumps up. Noon. Nothing. Nothing here. So, nothing to really worry about for the rest of the week, honestly. If we're building up liquidity, it might be for the rest of the week. NASDAQ taking out 9 a.m.'s high. Dow not taking out 9 a.m.'s high. S&P taking out 9 a.m.'s high. That's bearish divergence. Looking at S&P for some shorts now. Yeah, that thing's melting. Pretty sure this shit's gonna melt down. Dow, beautiful mitigation, last pound of interest. Just the triple top up there really made me hesitate out of all of these, but not all of them are gonna sweep liquidity. That's the beauty of it. Not all of them are gonna sweep liquidity. I believe in these shorts very much. Hopefully somebody got into that trade. I did call it out substantially earlier. Yeah. Nasdaq, same thing. Shorts. Yeah, these things are gonna short pretty fucking hard now. Anybody get in the shorts? Give me 1 second. You know, Top Step was giving out free accounts yesterday. It's pretty cool. And I already have an account with Top Step. I have 2. Well, 1 that I combined. So the 300K. I already had the 300K. So yesterday I was on my boy Zay put on the code, and so I hopped on there real quick. I knew the website was gonna be slow, and because the website was slow, I was able to get a free account, a free 50K account, like an hour after they gave out the code, and it was very limited to 3,500 people, very limited, and so it was cool, man. It was super cool. Yes, sir. Thank you, Zay. So yeah, I actually gifted that 50K to my wife. So it was really cool. I was just like, what? I get to gift my girl 50K? Let's go. You know, it's pretty cool, man. Helping those people around you. Yeah. I got to gift my girl 50K. Which platform? It is Trade Station. Top Step Futures Trading. Top Step Futures Trading. They gave away 3,500 free accounts yesterday, and the day before that they gave 3,000 accounts out, 50Ks. So they gave out 6,500 free 50K accounts in the past week. Shout out to them. And it's a guys, I've gotten paid out by them. Okay, I've gotten paid out with them consecutively. So for the past 2 quarters, so half a year, I've been getting paid out by them. Bro, who's in these shorts? Who's in these fucking shorts, man? I'm just holding my shorts, but I got a lot of people telling me, you think it's gonna melt? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, this thing's gonna melt. What about all that liquidity? You just gotta understand liquidity. Just gotta understand liquidity and divergence. Liquidity and divergence, I learned that it goes hand in hand. Everything, and now you know what? Fuck that. Everything goes hand in hand. Everything. I don't care. Everything goes hand in hand. Holding Nas from yesterday. Let's go, bro. Oh, my boy. Yeah, I forgot. We both got the same entry. We weren't even on a call. We're just on the same frequency. Yep. Yeah, same entry, bro. I'm telling you, same energy, man. It's crazy. So, who's in these shorts? They're just kind of dumped. Right? S&P was the most beautiful, cleanest one in my eyes. Then you had that divergence that I mentioned. Dow was the only one. So I want you guys to really start seeing this divergence, okay? And when you oh shit. And when you guys do this divergence thing, I want you guys to tag me in your posts, okay? When you're able to identify divergence like this, I want you guys to tag me in your posts. So that's 9 a.m.'s high, right? That's 9 a.m.'s high right there. Boom. You guys can see 9 a.m.'s high gets respected on Dow. This is NASDAQ in the middle. NASDAQ in the middle. 9 a.m.'s high gets completely disrespected on NASDAQ. And then S&P. S&P, 9 a.m.'s high. Completely disrespected. Right? We were looking in previous areas of distribution. We waited till 10 a.m. 10 a.m. shows up, gives us our intraday divergence, intraday liquidity sweep, and now we're melting down. Intermarket analysis. Okay? This is called intermarket analysis, where you have multiple correlating assets that are giving you or providing you a bias. I'm still waiting for that NAS Asian high sweep. Missed it. Yeah. So yeah, study divergence, guys. Study divergence. There's so much. So in 2023, I've dove in the past. Let's not even say 2023. Let's say from September till now, I've dove pretty deep into divergence. Just in the past month alone, you can watch all my videos in the past month, all my streams in the past month. In the past month alone, like especially more recently, I do this a lot, and I'm mentioning directional biases way before they happen because of a simple strategy like this one, divergence. Very simple thing. Beautiful, beautiful. 10 more days until my online bootcamp. 10 more days until my online bootcamp. I'm going to I'm going to be working on my presentation here in the next couple of days. So I look forward to seeing you guys there in my online bootcamp. It's on the 28th and 29th of this month. I'm going to do it online. So if you ever wanted to see my presentations in person, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, but online. So in case you guys ever or can't or are unable to make it to this in-person boot camps, make sure you make it to the online boot camp, right? If ICT concepts have ever confused you or anything like that, that's the call for you. That's the call. If you want to clarify everything that you see me do, if you want to be speaking the same language as I do, and speaking in the same language as myself, then make sure that you're there on that online bootcamp, October 28th and 29th. Okay. October 28th and 29th. Jeez, look at the way we're melting. I don't know who asked me about why wait till 10 a.m., but this is why I wait till 10 a.m. If it's starting to make more sense why I wait till 10 a.m. now, this is why. 9 a.m. tends to be the liquidity buildup. Not always. As you guys saw, Dow respected it, right? Like Dow still respecting. But 9 a.m. tends to be the liquidity that ends up getting taken. Yeah, it makes sense. Cool, bro. I'm glad. Do I have a video on it? I don't have specific videos on divergence. I have, look, there's a playlist on my YouTube. It's called the ABCs or Smart Money Concepts. Okay, and in the ABCs of Smart Money Concepts, I talk very generally and very basic concepts. This is just to like give you understanding of what something is, like divergence, and understanding of the description and identification of a certain strategy, okay, or methodology. Okay, and it's a very general and very basic understanding. It's a very basic course, and I did it with my understanding of back then. All right, so as time has proceeded, my understanding has improved, and I will continue to put out content, and I will continue to redo those videos. But as of right now, I believe if you want to understand how to how I do what I do, definitely make it to the online bootcamp. But if not, dig through these confirmations, dig through these videos, these live streams, because I feel like they are just so valuable. And so what I can start doing now, and you guys can drop some sevens in the chat if you'd like me to do this, after every stream every day, what I can do is go back in the description and kind of give like a brief breakdown on what happened during the stream. So for example, I could put on today's, we can go in the description, you guys can go in the description now and look at how I'm gonna update it. Okay, so I'm gonna put bearish divergence on indices after 10 a.m. Okay, so brief description, very brief description after 10 a.m. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start doing that from now on. That way you guys have it. Obviously, this one was like very quick, but I'm gonna start doing that so you guys have it as well. And then that way, when you're digging through these videos, these free live streams, you guys can go back and be like, oh, you know what? That's where he was talking about divergence. That's, you know, and as you guys stay tuned through these calls, I'm sure they're going to make a lot more sense. So, well, shorts are playing out beautifully, guys. I am going to hop off just because, you know, I'm just holding shorts. If you guys are participating in the shorts, my target remains the same for NAS. I am looking for more lows. For indices, I'm just looking for the initial low of the week. So Monday's low is right here on Dow. Not today's objective. Today's objective on Dow was previous daily low, or that top of that high, which of course, like, I wanted to see some distribution from up there, and we didn't get that. We just started melting with that bearish divergence. So ultimately, we're going for the low here as well, and then again Monday's low being the main objective for S&P as well. Nasdaq, Monday's low already got taken out by Tuesday. There is divergence on Nasdaq, but I am looking for more shorts beyond last week's low. Okay, last week's low. So still looking at that bearishness on Nasdaq. We'll see how far or how long this takes to get to these areas, but yeah, that's my objective. I'm looking at, you know, I might close at 15k. I might collapse everything at 15k. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, just because I've been holding this fucking forever, but we'll see. We'll see how far or how close we get to it today. Okay, anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me. thank you guys for, I mean, these shorts are shorting, right? These shorts are shorting really nicely. And if you guys want to, if you guys paid attention to this part, check this out. Do you guys remember when I was doing the full top down on NASDAQ earlier today? Well, look at where we're mitigating from today. Look at this imbalance here that we've already clearly traded through. And look at where we just came back to. Pulls back into that daily balance, and now we're melting. Beautiful. Shout out to you guys. GG's, guys. GG's. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Clap easy. Trade responsibly. And I'll see you guys in the recordings. I'm going to start doing recordings for indicators, okay? Indicators that have helped me change my life, starting with this main one that everybody asked me for. So see you guys in the recordings, or I will see you guys on Friday. All right, take care. Clap easy. Be there for the giveaway on Friday. I'm giving away another one-on-one. And yeah, please trade responsibly. Peace.